What's going on, guys? It's Kyle. Welcome to the Stock Go YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering the SoFi stock. Today was a choppy day. A lot of stocks were accelerating and then sold off aggressively. SoFi cannot catch a break. As we can see, after hours, we are getting hammered with some bad news. That is, the Softbank, headline of Softbank selling out of SoFi. I'm telling you right now, this has nothing to do with SoFi as a company right now. So Softbank is in deep waters with their investments. They've been making a lot of early startup investments and a lot of non-profitable companies, and it has gone south extremely fast. They've racked up tens and tens of billions of dollars of freaking losses, guys. So they're getting absolutely hammered. And yes, they are liquidating some of their SoFi shares, but I'm going to give you the breakdown why this is actually not bad news. As the stock has sold off so low, their holdings have literally been washed up to basically nothing at this point. And I'm going to show you, what kind of price action we could get, saying worst case scenario if they liquidated their entire position. And I just looked at it. That's the information I'm going to give to you guys today. And it looks like, barely nothing. We've already been at these levels if they were to liquidate. So be sure to smash the like button. Let's try and get the video over 1,000 likes. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. We will be keeping you updated daily. This is the #1 YouTube channel covering the SoFi stock. I know exactly what's going on with this SoftBank investment. Just to show you guys, over 11 months ago, I was covering, some of the SoftBank buys right here in this video. SoftBank buys big on some SoFi stock. So once again, we have been covering the SoFi stock for a long time. And I'm telling you right now, this stock is going to absolutely take off when the time is right. The time is not right yet because there's still macro environments, as you can see with the SoftBank headline. Massive fund like them are getting, liquidated. Margin calls are probably on the way because of so many bad, investment decisions. And they are, trimming or potentially selling out of SoFi. And it does not bother me at all because their value of their holdings right now has become so low. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, we can see SoFi finished the day up, barely green. We were up, 5% at one point today. Sold off in the after hours on the SoftBank news. I believe we hit about 4% backwards at one point. Let's just take a look at what the overall market did today. S&P 500 about break even. Dow break even green. NASDAQ break even red. Russell actually did very well, 1%. All right, we can see Palantir and Nvidia were the big ones selling off today on, slowing growth, I believe. We got a little bit of flat red, MasterCard, Visa, Amazon, Airbnb, Roblox. SoFi finished not very good today, up 0.25. Tesla, 0.78. Let's just go to the top. Redfin, Fubu, Honest, a lot of very small cap companies had a little bit of, mini squeezes. Upstart went up 9% today. And also Rivian 6, New 5, Coinbase 5. So some growth stocks actually did well. Let's take a look at the after hour. We can see Upstart is getting absolutely obliterated with terrible growth, guys. They're putting up $100 million less than their last quarter. Clover Health selling off, Affirm selling off with Upstart, and then SoFi is getting hammered on that SoftBank news, which we're going to get into. We can see SoftBank plans to sell some or all of its 9% stake in SoFi. Guys, they've been with SoFi for over 5 years ago when they were, a small private company. They've been funding this company forever. It just looks like SoftBank has some very big problems. On Monday, SoftBank sold 6.7 million shares in SoFi, a weighted average of 817. 3 days later, it sold an additional 5.4 million shares. I'll give you the full breakdown. SoftBank also posted record $23 billion loss in April through June quarter on Monday. So you can see this is what's really going on, guys. This has absolutely nothing to do with SoFi at all. They are invested in over 100 companies. SoftBank posts $21.6 billion quarterly loss on its Vision Fund, one of the highest in its history. The CEO said, "I'm quite embarrassed and remorseful." SoftBank CEO plans widespread cost cuts as tech investments suffer, leading to a $23 billion loss. So this dude was buying, at the peak, when we had that, massive inflow of cash when the Fed cut interest rates. These guys were buying every single company you could physically imagine. I'm telling you, it was all of the big ones over, 50 billion market cap. It did not matter. So we could see they were at about 95 million shares, valued around $900 million. So they had about $1 billion worth of SoFi at the level SoFi was trading at. So it looks like they went from 95 million to 83 million. So they trimmed about 12 million shares or so. So about 12.6% of their stake. So they still have 83 million shares, which may sound like a lot, but at these levels of SoFi, it actually isn't. So we can see just an estimate of SoFi trading around $8. They're 95 million shares. Earlier today could have been worth, $760 million. So currently, right now, with the total outstanding shares on SoFi, the market cap is right around, let's say, $7.2 billion. Now, if we take away the shares that they sold, which were right around those 12 million shares, 83 million shares currently at a $7.76 average, their holding is only about $644 million. If we take away that $644 million from that 7.1 billion market cap that we're sitting at currently, that gives us a market cap of 6,456 million. We minus that from the current market cap, that's going to give you a 6.4 billion market cap. Your price for the stock will be right around $7 if they completely liquidate their entire position, guys. We've been trading at the $6 and $6.50 level, just before earnings. So if we get Softbank to liquidate their entire position out of nowhere, which they most likely won't do, they most likely will just sell gradually. I'm just saying, we're looking at a $7 stock. We've been here before, okay? It would be nice to get some paper handers out of the stock if they, just keep making bad decisions, because we want investors that are going to continue to add over the years, not sell out at these levels. So there's just not a lot of downside. I mean, they had a lot of shares. I believe SoftBank's value of SoFi was worth around $3 billion when the stock was over 20 billion. That's a big portion. But guys, I mean, their holdings are down to 600 million at these levels. So why are these guys going to completely liquidate everything? Okay, they're most likely, they could sell out another 50%. I just don't see them liquidating everything because they've been an investor in SoFi for so long. Just look at this, guys. SoftBank leads $1 billion investment in US fintech startup SoFi 2015. So you're telling me they were investing over $1 billion 7 years ago, and now that $1 billion has gone under $1 billion 7 years later? What are these guys doing, okay? I mean, how do you lose $22 billion being one of the top funds in the world? I mean, these guys have just went completely gambling mode. I don't think they're going to sell everything, in my personal opinion. So even if they liquidate everything, guys, we don't have a lot of room to go down. I think they will trim more of their position. So that could be, a lot of bad headlines heading our way, because we know the media is always looking for a reason to bring the SoFi stock down. All right, guys, I just wanted to give you the worst case scenario of Softbank liquidating their entire position. The stock wouldn't even drop to $7. The only thing you really got to worry about right now is the media running with this headline, because there is so many paid bashers out there, that are getting money to bash SoFi, guys. These analysts cutting their price targets and stuff like that. We've still heard nothing about upgrades from those earnings. So it just looks like SoFi is going to be one of those, next level stories trying to take over a legacy market, which is the banking industry. And this SoftBank headline does not bother me at all, guys. I would think the student loan dilemma is a bigger dilemma than this, because SoftBank's holdings are down to barely anything at these levels. 600 million. These guys had $1 billion 7 years ago, and that $1 billion was worth about $3 billion when the stock was, tipping over 20. So they would be out of their mind to sell SoFi this low. So once again, my name's Kyle. I think great things are heading our way. Just wanted to clear the, headlines around this SoftBank selling. It's not that big of a deal, in my personal opinion. Once again, my name's Kyle. Hope you have a great day.